Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Ayodhya Kand, chapter number 114, a kingless capital. The recitation begins now. Thus conversing, they entered the city to the thunder of the chariot wheels. Bats and owls darted here and there. Men and elephants lay in a stupor of grief. Like a murky, moonless night during the dark half of the month, like Rohini, the bright and favorite spouse of the moon, in the grip of a maleficent planet, like a dried-up mountain torrent, its fish and crocodiles faint and dying, and the birds on its banks scorched by the merciless heat, like a sacrificial fire burning at first with a smokeless golden flame, and then gradually dying out under the weight of curds, milk, and food offered into it, like a huge army routed by the foe with its elephants, horses, and warriors wounded to death, their armor broken, and the war cars shattered to atoms, like the roaring ocean with its mountains and valleys of foam-crested billows that had sobbed itself to sleep, the sleep of silent exhaustion, like the fire chamber in a hollow sacrifice when, after the soma has been drunk, the priests and the audience leave it with the sacred vessels to be tenanted but by silence and solitude, like a cow in a herd whose heart has gone after its favorite bull and who turns away with disgust from the fresh, sweet-smelling grass laid before it, like a necklet of pearls from which have been removed the gems that lent their luster thereto, like a star whose merit is on the wane and falls down on the dull earth from its radiant seat among its peers, like a creeper of the woods black with the bees that are attracted by its fragrant spring robes, now in the heart of the cruel forest fires, like the moon and the stars behind the prison bars of dark clouds, like a drinking saloon, roofless, dirty, strewn with shattered bottles and cups, the corpses of its customers lying here and there in horrible postures, the floor cracked and the wines trickling among them, like a water trough, broken, dilapidated, and slowly ebbing away its life-giving waters with none to slake his thirst thereat, like the string of a mighty bow cut to pieces by the arrows of the enemy, like a fleet war horse bestrode by a famous warrior that lies on the ground hacked to death by the weapons of the enemy, its gay trappings and accoutrements scattered around, like a lovely pool where large fish and turtles disport themselves, now dried up and shallow, its walls broken and the flowers faded and dying, like the sun, whose bright radiance is hid behind the dark winter clouds, appeared Ayodhya with its silent deserted streets and closed shops. Bharatha drew his charioteer's attention to it and exclaimed, "How is it I hear not the strains of music and song wafted gaily along the breeze? Alas, the air is no longer heavy with the fragrance of rare wines and drinks, aloes, sandal, and other perfumes. Horses, chariots, and maddened elephants no longer thunder along the roads of Ayodhya ever since Rama went out of its gates. Young people of both sexes do not deck themselves gaily with scents and garlands, but are whelmed with grief. They do not walk about the streets and squares in joyful content. What has become of the numerous festivals, processions, and pleasure parties? Is this city in mourning for Rama? Its beauty and glory have departed with my beloved brother. Dark and gloomy it looks like a night in the bright half of the month when the rain lashes the earth. Would he come again among us, my brother, like a dear thing of joy and gladden our hearts even as summer clouds that delight all beings? When shall we behold again our men walk about the streets proudly in gay attire like lordly elephants?" So lamenting, he entered the portals of Dasaratha's palace. It was repulsive to look at, now that Dasaratha was no more, like unto a large mountain lair when the lion is dead that thundered in it. Once upon a time, The Asuras defeated the Devas in battle. Rahu absorbed the sun. Day and night were wiped out. Then Brahma deputed Atri, the Maharishi, to illumine the world for 7 days, which he did. The mansion was deserted and frightful to look at, even as the dark and dull days when the world was away from it. Bharatha, of iron fortitude, could not stem the tide of his sorrow, and his tears streamed afresh. Mangalam Koshalendraya, Mahaniya Gunaptiye, Chakravarti Dhanurjaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam.